Here we are in the Radio Artifact live studio. This is in the rectory directly next door to Urban Artifact. And this is our live studio that we got to put together.
So Radio Artifact was kind of a brainchild of one of our owners. Always wanted a radio station, and he tasked a few members of the Artifact team and kind of tasked them, hey, let's put together a radio station, and Devin was wanted to lead on that. They made it happen, and really quick.
I ended up plugging all this stuff together to get what we're currently using as our situation here.
Previously, before, our main goal for Radio Artifact was to get onto an FM station signal of some kind, and we achieved that in pretty quick succession of starting Radio Artifact in October of 2017.
Growth for Radio Artifact has been leaps and bounds more than we kind of thought it would be. Originally, it was just Scott, myself, Devin, and Andrew Tetrick just trying to put together a streaming website for local musicians to get their music on the air.
To go from quite literally all right, we want to do this, to, okay, we've now got a large amount of people looking and listening at what we're doing, and we've created a legitimate little platform for indie DIY music, radio, interviews.
There's always struggles to a business once it's getting going. We're lucky enough to be part of Urban Artifact, and they're a brewery, so that really helped kind of fund getting the equipment and whatnot. But after that, it's kind of we're our own thing going forward.
We just like to get on the air and spin some good tunes, share things, and be silly. We tend to focus quite a bit on Cincinnati and regional music, so Dayton artists, Columbus artists, Louisville artists. But we'll play new music from anybody. We have the platform we have, and we speak as loudly as we can through that platform on behalf of people who otherwise would not necessarily have exposure.
Hey, this is Jonathan.
This is Christopher.
From Salina Underground, airing Monday nights 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on
Radio Artifact.
WVXU 91.7 FM HD2, Cincinnati.
Wowie.
One last time, this is Aaron Sharp. You're listening to 105.9 WNKU. This must be the place.
Yeah.
Scott Hand originally had the idea to have a radio station from the get-go when he was making the business plan for Urban Artifact, and we finally got our feet under us and was able to start to explore other things other than just putting on live music here. So when that happened, we kind of saw it as an opportunity to showcase the local talent and the regional and national talent that we have come through. With WNKU going away, it's just kind of seemed fit. So it works just as well as a marketing arm for Urban Artifact, just as much as it does for the bands that we feature on the station.
I've been friends with some of the guys at WNKU, and through that, I've been a longtime fan of their station. I've loved what they've done, and we've been lucky enough to have several of their DJs actually make the transfer over to Radio Artifact.
It was right around that time where WNKU was just stopping programming and music and everything, so it was kind of right place at the right time. We didn't really plan it that way, that's kind of how you said the stars aligned. So
I wouldn't say that radio is necessarily dying. I would say that it's transforming from its earlier form. WNKU, for my money, is a tragedy. I will never forgive the university for that. That's a strong statement, but I will never forgive the board of that university for taking out that station.
They didn't want anything to do with it anymore.
which is fine. I'd rather not be associated with something that they don't want. The people who put out those CDs have invested a lot of time. Most of the time they've invested their life savings so that they can put out a CD. I am not going to go and toss it in the garbage without listening to it and giving it a fair shot. And if I do think it's decent, I will get in touch with them and tell them that I thought it was decent. It's just one voice, but with some of the people I've done that to, they've come back to me later and they've thanked me, because that's what they wanted, is they wanted input. Whether it's positive or negative, they wanted input. They wanted to make sure that it was being listened to.
So this 1 year anniversary for Radio Artifact at Urban Artifact kind of encapsulates everything that we have put forth, all the hard work, and there will be a variety of different booths to give you information on some of our shows, what we do as a business, and there's a lot of hardworking people that continue to volunteer their work to us, and it's great. So it's not just for us, it's a lot for them too.
The event's great. I was really happy that our radio station is filled with so many just excellent, talented musicians to fill a whole night of music with. So I'm having a blast. Everybody seems to be having a good time.
This definitely shows a lot of people who maybe hasn't had the opportunity to check out Radio Artifacts.
So far, I think it's gone pretty well. We've had a show. Ken Haynes is here. We've got Go Go Buffalo, and we had the Fritz Pape, and we've had the Phasmids, and we've had the Sixth Sense coming up next, and then the Phasmonauts. Is that the deal? Yeah, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so excited about the entire situation.
It's been really awesome. Honestly, we started out from, we're still a small station, but it's been really cool to watch us go from just like a handful of people in a room, like with as silly and trite as it sounds, to a handful of people in a room with an idea, and to watch it blossom where we've we're now getting picked up through WVXU's HD streams. You can stream us through their channel, which has brought us such a wide listener base, which I think is awesome for all the local content that we support.
It was one thing to be able to, one of the first times I posted my show and I had to log online. But then one time my husband and I drove up into Northside because we knew my show was coming on and I wanted to actually be able to hear it in our car. We drove all around trying to find the radio station, and then we found it, and it was this amazing moment where you could hear the local bands and the local DJs, and we sat for hours and listened to Radio Artifact in the alley in Northside, and then my show came on and that was even better.
We're going to be incorporating live performances, have a couple cameras set up and recording that through the board and putting up featured sets on our YouTube channel. So that's our next phase, and we're going to start that the beginning of the year in 2019.
I've had a really good year. I interviewed Greta Van Fleet earlier this year. I covered a bunch of festivals. I literally had the band Kansas on my show last week. So it's been a really cool experience, and yeah, it kind of blows my mind, honestly.
People will tell you, don't play every day, out at a live show, don't play Cincinnati more than 2 times a month, and I hate that. Play as much as you can, get your name out there. As long as you're getting your stuff out to one fan who potentially brings a friend to a next show, then go for that.